What should we be expecting in the Switch 2 generation as far as how much we're going to be spending on these games?
Yeah, I would say that we're not really looking to establish a benchmark
Okay.
for pricing. We look at every game and every experience and determine what we believe.
Yo guys, once again, this is a follow-up video to my previous Nintendo one, which I had to re-upload. Sorry about the audio, by the way. Basically, I want to look at the Mario Kart Direct, but apparently before that, we need to look at what the response was for, well, the outrage, and then we're gonna from there watch the thingy, because apparently whatever is said in here is kind of segue that you should definitely watch the Mario Kart Direct to understand the reason of the price. But for the sake of it, let's listen to what the head of Nintendo in America said, which I think is Bowser, something Bowser. Anyway, let's listen. You ready? Okay, here we go. Let's hear. This is like a 17-minute long thing, so you won't see the full thing. You'll just see the main important thing.
Very powerful gameplay features and social features. So it's
that.
that understanding of your past and your legacy and what worked well, and then how can you supplement that with improved features, improved interaction to create what we've created today, which is Switch 2.
Part of that's under the hood, and I know you've partnered with NVIDIA on that. Can you just talk a little bit about
the
improvements we're going to see for these gameplay on a technical level? What can you achieve now as a developer on the Switch 2 that you maybe couldn't have done on the Switch 1?
Yeah, so there's a few features that I'll call out. First of all, the new and improved Joy-Con, really redesigned from the ground up. And the Joy-Con 2, which are the controllers that you have either when it's on the device or when you disconnect, when you're in a docking mode, we've designed from the ground up the control sticks. We've increased the size of the shoulder buttons. We've improved the overall feedback and rumble, and you feel.
Okay, we kind of already know this. Oh,
so
hold on, the Switch price. Let's actually compare.
From a CPU and GPU standpoint, we've greatly improved that capability.
And not that good when you look at it,
now
but
allowing developers to really bring deeper and richer content to the platform.
PlayStation quality.
Here. Everyone's talking about it.
Fucking look at the difference in price. 300 to 450. They're scraping. They're closer to £500 than they are to 300. The leap is from a Wii to a Switch. That's what this is. A Wii to a Switch. That's the leap. That's the leap they've taken. Because they've only moved on to previous gen console. Ugh, well.
It's $150 more than the original Switch was.
That's insane.
Can you talk a little bit about why we're seeing such a big price increase
let's hear it.
versus the previous generation?
So I think it boils down to a couple of things. First of all, the hardware unit itself, which has a lot of improved features, from some of the things I talked about earlier with the Joy-Con 2, also to the LCD screen that is much larger and much deeper and richer. And then there's the CPU and GPU processing power that allows for much deeper game development, and I think an ability to bring even more developers onto the platform. And then laid on top of that is the social features that we haven't talked about, but Game Chat is this unique feature that lays on top of any game that you play. With the push of one button, seamlessly you can connect with your friends, you can chat with them via audio, or with 4 of them, you can have them on a video camera and have this opportunity to interact and talk about the games you're playing.
Still gotta pay for that, by the way.
Now we're sitting here on April 2nd. It just so happens, as we're recording this, the President of the United States right now is announcing his tariffs. You and so many other executives are pulling their hair out, trying to figure out, how do I price my products? How did that come into play as you're deciding how to price the Switch 2 here in the United States?
Yeah. As we price the Switch 2, the price we announced today of $449 for the single SKU, we didn't consider tariffs into that.
Do you know how insane this is? This is before they considered tariffs, which means that this was going to be the price regardless. Anyway.
We felt that that was going to be the right price point for our consumers and the right value proposition, if you will, for the device that we're creating. A lot of news today. We're still all trying to really understand it better and understand what possible impacts, may rise from that. But nothing I can really add to, today's discussion around pricing.
Really?
Consoles lose money, but you make them up not on the hardware, but you make it up on the software. Is that kind of the idea with this as well?
Well, I would say that we all are trying to find a way to maintain, if you will, margins on the hardware, even though.
This is fucking ridiculous. This is ridiculous. If you compare it, why? There's so many. I mean, that's the price in America. In the UK, that's like 450, 450, something less to that extent, right? That's ridiculous, bro. why is that £50 less than a next gen console when this doesn't even provide? This is the specs of a PS4.
Though they may be more slim than they are
Fucking
in software.
insane.
But yeah, the whole proposition, really, the value add proposition here is once you install the hardware, we want to keep consumers engaged. We want to make sure that they're seeing the value in their investment in one of our devices. So we're ensuring that we always have gameplay experiences and a regular cadence of gameplay experiences that allows them to come in, purchase, try, play a game, purchase the next game, and really stay engaged with the device over time. And that's part of the success we had with Nintendo Switch.
I think that's one thing people miss out a lot is the value you get out of games. You might go to the movies, pay $30 or whatever for one outing at the movies, but that's a 2-hour experience, whereas this, hundreds of hours, right? For paying it.
Absolutely, and if we use Nintendo Switch as an example,
are these pre-screened
we've installed over
questions?
150 million units of Nintendo
They
Switch.
must be pre-screened questions.
Worldwide. Last year, 129.
Now, I know you're bundling that with the console as a digital download, that it's a $50 add-on, but if you buy the game itself, this got a lot of attention. I don't know if you've seen. $80, that's a lot for a game. I know it's typically not what Nintendo charges. And then we look at the Donkey Kong game that's coming out about a month later, it's $70. Can you talk a little bit about how the gaming pricing strategy is $80 kind of the benchmark for a AAA game from Nintendo? What should we be expecting in the Switch 2 generation as far as how much we're going to be spending on these games?
Yeah, I would say that we're not really looking to establish a benchmark for pricing. We look at every game and every experience and determine what we believe is the right price point based on that experience.
Oh my God, so they're saying no matter they're saying whatever price they give you is what they feel the game is worth. So they're saying Mario Kart World is worth $80, which is £80, £75, $80. That's nuts.
You've had a chance to play Mario Kart World and see how deeply immersive it is and how fun it is. And we haven't shown everything yet. We still have a Mario Kart World Direct that'll be coming that'll show you the deeper feature set. So we believe, based on the depth and breadth of the play and the repeatability of the play over time, the pricing that we announced is the right pricing. But again, other games like you mentioned, Donkey Kong Bonanza, it's going to be at a $70 price point, because that is what we feel is the right price point for that particular gaming experience.
So there's no standard price, basically.
There's no standard. There's no
so
standard.
Anything
price.
can be priced. That's a fuckery.
Is that kind of up to the developer?
That's exactly right. It's really their choice based again on the type of game.
That wasn't what I wanted to show you, but it didn't have it didn't have the part I wanted to be in there. But what you can take from that is that they said any game can be marketed at any price depending on how good they feel, and they tried to shift the blame to say that it's more the developer than it's Nintendo, not realizing that Mario Kart is made by Nintendo. So you didn't really switch it to say, oh, it's like you tried to shift the blame to be like, oh, the developers choose the price. You're the developers. You're part of the development process. Well, most of it anyway. But yeah, like you are in charge of that anyway. Even though you're the publisher, you are technically a part of the development process. So it's kind of funny. It's not like you're moving like they're acting as if the developers put a gun to the head and said, charge this £80 so we make profit. You know what I think, before I talk about this, do you know what I think why they made it cost so much, the games and stuff? Outside of the games, because they're greedy. The console, I think, being that much is because they got scammed for their hardware. Whoever they got their hardware from, which in the video, I think, maybe the video just scanned them with shitty parts or parts that, you know, are old gen. So then now to make the profit back from spending the money on old gen parts, which probably costed more, if I'm honest, than getting new ones, they have to make it more expensive. It'd be funny if that was true. That's just a little theory. I could be entirely wrong. But yeah, basically, the developers will charge you more depending on the price. And they feel like Nintendo's with the Switch 2 has such a big price increase because of the significant changes that they have. The chat party that has has a fucking laggy share screen and a ridiculous camera for £50 odd, £60. The prices on that is ridiculous. Honest to God. And their features. What I don't get is how you can say Mario Kart is worth that much because of the time and experience you're going to play. But let's be honest, you're not going to play Mario Kart that much. Most people are going to play Mario Kart for a little bit when they have friends over and then don't play it again. And then maybe, and I mean only maybe, you're going to play it for like maybe I even give it a year tops. And then you're not really going to be playing the game. No one plays Mario games or Nintendo games on a consistent basis. Smash Ultimate might have been an exception. That makes sense. But everything else in that catalog is basically one and done because they're all story games. That Donkey Kong game, once you complete the game, there's going to be no reason to play it. You can probably complete that game in like 3 days or 4 days. I've seen other games get beaten quicker. So it's really, really just up to the person. None of Nintendo's games last long enough for it to warrant that price. PlayStation don't even charge you that much, and they have loads of games. The only game that was worth 80, and I'm going to say this now, is Baldur's Gate. That was amazing. I've not played it myself, but I know it's amazing, and it's got the price pool that they made you pay, which I think was 70. It wasn't even 80. It was 70. And that literally had content and content and content for years. Nintendo's not pulling that out of their basket. Anyway, what was I actually going to say to you guys? Now, he said everything about, you know, the price difference and, you know, why it's the price difference, but he didn't say why. What happens to the people who can't afford it? And this is where it's written here, where he says, if you follow me, from saving until after the direct was over, delaying pre-orders in the US, Nintendo Switch 2 pricing has been disastrous. Yep. Has attempted to explain and defend the cost of the Switch 2, but has reminded gamers of Microsoft's disastrous Xbox One launch in doing so. Nintendo of America, President Doug, has been trying to help everyone understand why the Switch has gone from $450 and explain the tariffs had nothing to do with that lofty price, which actually makes it even worse. The Nintendo boss told those who won't be able to afford the Switch that they can keep playing the original Switch. This is what he said. We recognize there are some people that may not be able to afford the Switch 2's price. The price point, the Switch 2's price point. That's why we wanted to make the other Switch platforms available. Bowser explained, presumably trying to highlight that the original Switch will continue to receive support long after Switch 2 is released. However, that's not something I'm taking the comments, because really and truly, he's saying, we understand that it's going to cost so much for you guys, but that's how I'm going to keep the Switch available for you to use for longer, just for you guys. So he basically said, you can't afford it, that's okay, don't get it. Just get the Switch One, be happy with that. We'll keep it running for you guys, yeah? Okay? This is, in other words, this is basically what Pokimane said, where she said,
like, if you're a broke boy, just say so.
And you're wondering why Nintendo is one of the most bare minimum worst companies ever. Look, how can you say that to the people who are interested in your stuff, but the price is too much? Imagine, like, who has that much to spend on a game console that they might not get to play? Children, maybe, but they ain't got that money. Kids, I mean, adults haven't got the time. They have the money, but they ain't got the time. They've got more important. Imagine deciding whether you got to spend money for your bill or spend money for your fucking Switch. That's someone's rent. That can be someone's rent for the month, you know, or even less, more, sorry. That's crazy. That's crazy. He really said fuck off and play the Switch One. That's a horrible, horrible thing. And apparently, these experts did that better. You just told your Switch people to fuck off though, which is actually insane. So, you know, take that as you will. That already confirms to me what he thinks about you guys. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. They'll do the bare minimum. They'll make it the most expensive price, and they want you to go jump and do backflips to get their console, where you're only getting one game on launch, Mario Kart, and then you have to wait a month for DK to come out. If I'm not correct, if I'm wrong, tell me in the comments. Which is ridiculous. You don't even get. You only got one release game at launch, and everything's an add-on to games you already have. Why am I paying for add-ons? I just realized, you know what makes this worse? From a design and like just console business standpoint, this is bullshit what they're saying. They're saying that they can't lower the price basically, and that you should just play the previous thing. You know what PlayStation did when they realized what they said might have been too expensive, even though really and truly that's more worth it than anything else. They gave you a version of the console without the disc drive and made it cheaper, because obviously the cost of it is because of the hardware, right? So they lowered it down for you. There's not much in the fucking hardware for the Switch 2 for them to do that. So they just don't want to lower it. They don't want to lower it. This Switch, the PlayStation 5 digital version is cheaper than the Switch 2. can we just deep that? Let me actually make so you don't think what I claim as a lie, right? This is the original prices for the PlayStation 5 when it first came out for the OG model, not the Slim. The Slim costs more, but that's probably because of the hardware differences and stuff and upgrades. But this base cost less than a fucking it costs less than the Switch 2, and this is more powerful in every way. Just deep that. $399, right? Because we're comparing dollars. $399. If that doesn't tell you how the Nintendo are crooks, then I don't know what will. That was the standard price, bro. The Switch is something else. Anyway, they said basically with Mario Kart, the price is worth the price. So if you look at the Nintendo Direct with Mario Kart, you might see what they're saying. So basically they said, let me cook, and we'll show you why we think Mario Kart is going to be $80. So now we're going to look at it now. Get ready. We're going to check it. All right, it's time to watch this Direct. I want to see how much this is actually worth £80. They said that this is worth $80 for the sake of it. For us in the UK, that's probably going to be like 70, 75. But, you know, I share their pain with it being that expensive. Mario Kart being that expensive is insane. Actually, what is the price? £75 for Mario Kart World. Yeah, okay. Yeah, 75 for us, 80 for you. Regardless, should never have to spend that much on a Nintendo game. Let's go. Okay.
Drivers, start your engines. Welcome to the Mario Kart World game.
Okay.
Available exclusively on the Nintendo Switch 2 system.
Yeah.
What kind of races await you?
The only exclusive game that's going to release when it comes out, you know.
You'll aim for first place in each Grand Prix. But why stop there? Across cities, plains, a desert, and even the ocean, you can drive virtually everywhere in this fully interconnected world.
Okay.
Races are held on courses scattered throughout various regions that span this world, and you can freely drive between them.
Oh, okay,
There's
that's
a
cool.
lot in store, and we're only at the starting line. Let's introduce some of the courses that are waiting for you. Here we go!
Okay, let's see.
Courses are found throughout the world, inspired by their surrounding region. Let's take a look at some of the new courses to explore. Ride the ridges and roads on Mario Brothers Circuit. And cruise the curves around the canyon. You can't miss it. See the sights and structures of Crown City.
Okay.
You can even soar in style down Main Street.
Cool. Nothing new from
Drift
that.
along the rapid waterways of Salty Speedway and make a splash around the city's canals.
Okay, that's cool. Venice, I'm assuming.
Stay cool
Inspired
on the
by-
snowy trails of Starview Peak.
Rainbow Worlds? What's a Rainbow World, boy? It looks like it.
Just don't slip off while soaking up the scenery.
Feels like this meant to be Rainbow
A
World.
spirited showing at the ghostly movie theater Boo Cinema.
Okay, that Dracula.
It's a whole new kind of drive-in theater. And in addition to lots of new courses, there's Toad's Factory.
Oh, throwback on the Wii.
Peach Beach,
Dun, 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 dun. That's a throwback.
Wario Shipyard,
I don't-
and more.
Are those new? That's that one.
Nostalgic courses from past titles
remember that
are
one.
also here. But now they're reimagined and spread throughout the world,
Okay,
where races
cool.
can happen during the day or at night.
Okay, that's cool. Nighttime, daytime races. Okay. That can't be it.
Race as familiar characters like
Okay.
Mario.
So,
Luigi.
just to say, they've been vague about the courses. They said there's a couple courses, and then there's others. There's throwback ones. Don't know which ones yet, but there's throwback courses. And that's what you get for free. All right.
Peach,
Okay.
Bowser,
Okay.
and Yoshi. Yoshi.
Right.
Plus,
Yeah.
new drivers like Goomba,
Who the fuck wants to play Goomba?
Spike,
Who?
and that's right, Cow.
Who wants? Who asked?
Even more new racers are waiting.
Look at it. Bro, who is trying to play the crab? You're playing enemies. They just added. Is this Dragon Ball Z? This is looking like a Budokai Tenkaichi roster. Where it just added characters for the sake of it, like Frieza Soldier 1. Why would I want to play as a Goomba, a crab? These are literally all of the little micro enemies that you fight with Bowser. You fight with Mario. You just jump on and walk off. Look at this. That one's. I'm pretty sure that one's some. I'm pretty sure this one here's some flipping Mario Sunshine. That's from Mario Sunshine. Why do I want to play as the caterpillar?
and ready to
Okay, that he dripped out. They dripped out. That looks kind of cool.
roll.
Again, is that a fucking
Select your character.
This can't be why they
Choose
think
your
the game
vehicle,
costs this much.
Then
This can't be
you're
it.
off to the races.
This can't be it.
Characters and vehicles each have different stats, so make sure to find the combo that best suits you.
Wait, do they still not tell you the weight of the
Make sure to
character?
find the combo that
They still don't tell you the weight of the character. Flipping out.
best suits
You
you.
have to just know.
There are two main styles of race revving up in this world: Grand Prix and Knockout Tour.
So 2 modes. 2 modes.
In both modes, up to 24 drivers can participate, the most in series history.
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
Your
That is a lot.
rivals aren't the only hazards you'll need to avoid on the road. Look out for cars that shoot bullet bills, attacks from Hammer Brothers,
Okay, so you've got
and
hazards.
other obstacles along the way.
Hazards during the level,
Try
but
to
that's
steer
normal,
clear.
no? Only now it's actually stopping you on purpose now.
And now, get ready for Grand Prix
Okay.
with Mushroom Cup, Flower Cup, Star Cup, and more. Grand Prix races are held all around the game's world. You'll
Okay, that's
race
cool.
through 4 different courses in each cup and aim for the top spot.
Oh.
In Mushroom Cup, you'll start off racing around Mario Brothers Circuit. While the second race will take you from Mario Brothers Circuit to Crown City.
Yeah.
For the first time, you'll need to drive yourself to the next course in Grand Prix. So don't
I mean,
sleep
her
at the
being.
wheel.
Why didn't they show her as a new character? She's a new character. You want to show
And if
every
you conquer
micro
all
enemy.
Grand Prix Cups, rumor has it that a certain colorful course will appear.
Wait, what? What do you say?
Rumor has it that a certain colorful course,
If Rainbow World.
and if you conquer all Grand Prix Cups, rumor has it that
Oh,
a certain
okay.
colorful course will appear.
If you do all of them, you get Rainbow World. Basically.
Next up,
They
is
didn't
a
even
new
show you
mode,
that.
Knockout Tour.
They didn't even
From
show you
Golden
that.
Rally to Ice Rally and more. These extended races take you from one end of the world to the other. Get ready for a sprint. But you've got to place if you want to stay in the race.
You know, this game mode isn't
Speed towards checkpoints
even
throughout the
new.
world. If you don't make the cut, you're out of the running.
Oh, if you want in
Buckle
top
up.
8.
The competition gets more intense as you close
It's
in
like
on
a
the
combination
checkpoints.
of Fall Guys and
You've got to drive to survive in Knockout Tour.
this kind of reminds me of what do you call it? Sonic Sega All-Stars Racing, where you need to be in a certain position and you need to finish at a certain time. But I'm guessing with this one, it's not a time thing. It's based on based on the position, which is the same thing on Sonic Sega All-Stars Racing. But there was a time limit for you had to reach a certain time and you had to be a certain. No, the time limit was to be sure that you were first in that place. Anyway.
So keep your eyes on the prize and aim for first place.
Okay.
Items can drastically change the outcome of a race. Here are some new items that'll help you out. Coin shell. When you throw a coin shell,
That's
coins
new.
will appear.
That's nice.
Now's your chance to grab them. Just don't let your rivals cash in first.
So you can get more speed, right?
Ice
That's what the
flower.
coins are for, to get
With
more
the ice
faster.
flower, you can freeze out rivals and send them spinning. Hammer.
There was a
Aim the
flower.
hammer in an arc,
Wow.
and nailed it.
Oh,
Hammers
that's kinda
also
cool.
stay on the course for a short time and
That's
can be
pretty
used
cool.
to block off rivals.
That's
Mega
cool.
Mushroom. With the Mega
Ooh.
Mushroom, go big, so your rivals will go home.
That's cool.
Feather. Use the feather
Yeah,
to
I've seen
jump
this
up
one.
and avoid attacks. You
You
may
can do
even
tricks.
discover some unexpected routes.
Oh.
Comic. With Comic's magic, your rivals will transform. What
Everyone
other
in the line.
mysterious effects will happen? You'll have to see for yourself. The
So that's
lower
an
your
RNG.
placement, the more likely you are to find items that'll turn the tables.
That's
So
not...
when you get
okay.
items, go for
So
it.
only 3 items they showed you that are new to the series. Only 3. Okay.
And if you're new to the
Look at Mario
Kart
dancing. Why's he
series,
dancing like that?
there are added support features to help you along the way.
Bro, Mario was breaking it the fuck down.
These
That's funny.
include smart steering, which helps you stay on the course. Tilt controls, where you can hold a Joy-Con 2 controller horizontally and
This is
use
not a Wii,
motion
bro.
controls to steer.
This is not a Wii.
And if you have the Joy-Con 2 wheel, you can feel like you're really driving.
Guess how much it cost? $20.
Whew. How about a quick break? A snack sounds good right about now. Hey, look, it's a drive-thru.
Yoshi's.
Here at Yoshi's, you can grab an order to go. Dash food. Take a bite, and
Okay.
you can unlock outfits inspired by your meal.
Oh, because you're American, you want a burger.
Eat some sushi and... Whoa!
Oh, you
nice
can't.
threads. Once
Why is he
unlocked,
getting down like
these
that?
outfits can be
Mario's going
selected
like-
from the character selection screen.
I am kind of hitting that.
Who knows what dishes or outfits you'll find? Make a pit stop and check out these drive-thrus all around the world.
Okay, Texas.
That was a nice detour. Now let's get back to the action.
So what, does that mean when you're playing the game and you see a pit stop, you can get them? Is that what
Let's
it
introduce
is?
some new tricks that'll
Not just
help
free
you
roam,
ace
then.
each race.
Okay, that's cool. So you can unlock items while you're
Charge
playing the
jump.
game?
You can now use a charge jump by holding the drift button while driving straight ahead. Charge and release to jump.
Okay, that's kind of cool. Get more boost, I
Use
guess.
this to leap over obstacles.
Oh.
Grind along power lines. And dodge attacks from your rivals. And if you jump toward a wall, you can wall ride for a short period of time.
Wall riding seems flipping fun. I can't, that looks cool. That looks fun
Chain
to
some
do.
tricks together, and you may even reach places like this. Ah, so close. Almost there. Whenever this happens, be kind and rewind.
What?
This will return your vehicle to its original position.
This can't be an actual online match then.
Nice, made
It has to be
it.
single player only. There's
This
no
can
way you
come in
added
handy
that.
when mapping out how to best approach a course.
For labbing the course, okay.
Keep in mind, though, your rivals will still move normally when you rewind, so don't lose your lead.
Can be used in free roam and when playing races solo. Yeah, it's impossible to do that.
Want to take a spin in even more races?
Okay, there's more modes. All right.
In time trials, it's you
Normal
against the
modes,
clock.
that's not different.
Here you can race without any other competitors. And if you go online, you can download and compete against ghost data from racers around the world. Customize the rules of the road in Versus Race. You can use the classic rule set of running 3 laps within the same course, or you can choose to drive the distance from one course to another.
Okay, but how far can you go?
You can even take the road less traveled and choose routes that aren't in Grand Prix or Knockout Tour.
Oh, okay, that's kind of cool.
Up to 24 drivers can now compete in 2, 3, or even 4 teams.
Okay, that's cool. There's more
Group up
players.
and get ready to put the pedal to the metal. Next up, battle mode. Pop off locally or online in balloon battle. Use items to burst your rivals' balloons. Pop them all and your rivals out. And coin runners, where you can go for the gold by collecting the most coins. Race or battle, enjoy whatever drives you.
Free roam, okay.
When you're not racing, you can enjoy free roam and go wherever your heart takes you.
Okay.
No roads? No problem. Ride the rivers. See the seas.
Okay, it's cool that you get to do a little free roam.
Drive the desert.
There's no story mode to do this though.
Or jump off from way up here. You can go wherever you like, even to the edges of the world.
You know what's cool about this? The coolest thing about this is probably this can be one of those things where, like, you know, when you're in a call and you're playing with your boys and you're not actually trying to play a game because what you're talking about is kind of deep and kind of serious. So you're just walking around in that level. This is that. You're just walking around that whole map or something. This is this. You just go into free roam and you just talk to your friends without actually paying attention to what you're doing in the game. That's what this mode is for.
Hey, there's a P-switch over there.
And I guess maybe learning maps and routes. Collect blue coins. Okay, so there's some
hundreds of
objectives.
P-switches you find across the world to start
Okay.
missions.
Mission.
By completing them, you can hone your driving ability outside of races.
Okay. At least that's good.
There are also hidden coins,
Which get you... Nope, okay.
hidden panels, and more. So
Okay.
take the scenic route and explore.
And the photo
Also,
mode, yeah.
during free roam, you can take photos whenever you like.
I'd be annoyed if I couldn't.
Strike a pose.
I can stand on the thing for
Look at the
everything now.
camera. Choose a frame to decorate, and nice. That one's a winner. If one person has Mario Kart World, up to 4 players can race in split screen on
The
the
bare
same
minimum,
system.
that's how it always has been.
The game also supports local wireless play. Up to 8 players, with up to 2 players on each system, can race together this way.
What's a bit different now, price-wise? I mean, for that, sorry.
And up to 24 players from around the world can join a race or battle in online play.
Okay, what? Can you not do a custom game and invite everybody? You already can. Nice try. Hey, friends online.
This may look like free roam, but this is where you'll wait while your friends join you. Looks like someone's arrived. Yep, you can meet up with your crew anywhere in this world.
Okay, that's cool.
By
Instead of
checking the
waiting in
map,
a lobby
you can quickly see where your friends are and
and
travel
drive to them.
their location.
You'll get very tired of driving in this game, though. After the first, like, couple.
Battle or race with custom rules. Or just go for a ride together. Make this road trip your own. You can also take photos together along the way.
Yeah,
if that's
okay.
more your speed. With Game Chat, enjoy an expanded experience by talking online with friends. Use the built-in microphone to voice chat while driving together.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Sorry.
Check this out.
This is boring me to death.
Nice. Are you kidding me?
Or take a back seat and watch each other's game screens.
Still like it.
If you have a Nintendo Switch 2 camera, you can enjoy seeing your friends' reactions while playing together. Who's close by?
That's cool at least, but £50 for that? I don't care. I just feel
Wait,
so
who
normally.
just passed me? You'll be able to tell in an instant. Aim a shell and bullseye. And when playing together in person on the same system, a single camera can detect up to 4 people's faces. enjoy the view, and get ready to face off with your friends. In Mario Kart.
That was it. That was not worth 16 minutes of my damn life. I fell asleep through most of it because none of it is new. The newest part about this is the characters that no one cares about are in the game. That's it. All the enemies that you've beaten up at this point with no lingering thought about, oh, what is that character like if I played them? They're not, they're in the game. That's it. Literally. What they showed was the bare minimum. They showed you stuff that's been in other elements of the game. They showed you one game that you'd play outside of your friends, and that's free roam. You can play with friends, which is cool. But free roam, where you just run around, when you just drive around and do the same thing you've been doing in every mode, except you can get a pit stop and, you know, drive and stop and take pictures. You can't do that in a normal game mode, but you literally got that. So as you just saw earlier, I knocked out because the direct was boring. They didn't tell me anything new that I didn't already know. You could look at gameplay and see what was new. The wall running was the same, the thingy, the trick thing. Like there was a treehouse thing, I think, or like snippet of 15 minutes of gameplay from people explaining how the game works. So they didn't really show anything that wasn't already shown besides the courses, and even then they were vague about certain things. They're like, oh, you have to find out. So to me, like, it didn't feel like Mario Kart needed a whole new direct. There's nothing that makes this worth $80 to me personally, or $75. Because essentially, you're gonna play all the one thing I've realized, the variable in all of this, is that all of these game modes rely on you having people around you. The add-ons are bullshit, like the camera and shit. But all these games rely on you having people like around you to play them. Like online, you need to have friends to play with who have Switch online. Free roaming will be fun for like the first 20, 30 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on who you are, if you want to explore the whole world. Depends how long it takes, right? That will be fun for like a week at best, solo, maybe even less solo. But then when you're playing with friends, it might be even better. But then what else is there to do once you free roam? There's nothing more, right? That's not a story mode. Yeah, you get little challenges that you can do to make you better at Mario Kart, I guess. But it just depends to an extent how much of that can you do before you get bored. That's repetition, really and truly. Racing in Mario Kart is only fun when it's competitive and it's with friends, so you playing online might be a nice way to give you the edge. But if there's no ranked mode, which there usually isn't, and as I didn't say, there's no ranked mode, there's no real reason for you to play online often. So they didn't even add that as a new mode. They added the same, they advertised Time Attack as if it was a new mode, and these other modes like they weren't new modes. Time Attack and the battle, like those are standard. The only new thing you have in this is Knockout Cup, which looks cool, but that's about it. The maps, you've reused some of them and then put them in. Then obviously you've put new maps. Like you've set the standard, there's new tricks. It looks like it can be fun. There's definitely fun ways for you to go around the thing, but nothing makes this worth 80. Replayable value only depends on how much friends you have. If you are someone who has a Nintendo Switch but doesn't really have friends like that, or doesn't have friends who are willing to pay for Mario Kart, having the game means fuck all. Because you're gonna play and no one's gonna have the game unless they come to your house and play it. And again, it's a couch game. I would see more reason for Donkey Kong to be more expensive than Mario Kart, considering that has, you know, playability on its own. Well, single player playability. Whereas this is only gonna be when you have people around. I think it's BS, man. And it, like, the direct didn't actually show me anything that made me feel like, whoa, this is interesting. This is why we need this. No. The character list is ridiculous. They just added characters for the adding the sake of characters. That shit's funny. Some of the characters that they showed, I'm like, brother, who the fuck wants to play the crap? Anyway, I'm done. What do you guys think? Let me know. This video is longer, and yeah, as you saw, I slept. So if you stayed here to this long, I've got a little surprise for you. I've got a bunch of shit from this video. I'm tired. We're done.